I was having a conversation the other day with some of my coworkers that may be somewhat of an unpopular opinion, but we'll see. I think any opinion is acceptable. We were talking about charting and talking about whether or not you should be doing like an end of shift summary or like a narrative type of note as a nurse. I personally feel like they're super helpful, and like with the, of course, the thing came up of if you have to be depositioned one day, looking at the flow sheets may not help you very much compared to looking at your shift summary. But of course, then the other side of the coin is you need to make sure that they match. Personally, I feel like an end of shift summary is super helpful, and more importantly than if you get depositioned one day, the purpose of our documentation is not to save us in court one day, but actually to communicate with the other members of the team so that we can provide the best care to that baby or to that patient, so that the care that they receive is excellent, not to cover our ass later. But I also wonder, because yesterday we had our nursing research conference at my hospital, and of course there was talk about AI and all of the things technology can do for us to kind of create that end of shift summary one day based on our flow sheet charting, which would be so, so helpful. And so I just wonder for you guys, do you write an end of shift summary at the end of your shift? I always did. And one thing that I always did that I thought was super helpful and time saving was I would start my end of shift summary at the beginning of my shift, and I would pend it. So I would essentially write out in like systems format, like how I received the baby. And then I could make little updates throughout the shift and then save it at the end of my shift. Of course, changing the time to the morning because I always worked night shift. And that helped kind of me think through the process and really demonstrate my nursing process as I was caring for that patient during that shift. So that's how I used to do it. How do you do it? Do you do it end of shift summary at all, or do you just have everything in the flow sheet? Again, being somebody who, as the CNS, like on Mondays, I look at every single chart and I write a note on every single baby because we have a multidisciplinary rounds. And it's so much easier for me to get a big picture in a moment looking at the nurse's summary compared to trying to look at flow sheets and look at all the other places that you can look. But that's my thought. I personally like them. What do you think?